What if the best wisdom you'll ever hear came from someone who lived nearly 2,000 years ago? What if the answers to your stress, your regrets, your sleepless nights weren't found in another self-help book or another app, but in timeless truths that have already stood the test of time? If you're over 50, you've seen life unfold in ways both beautiful and brutal. You've loved, you've lost, you've worked hard, and somewhere along the way, maybe you've asked yourself, what really matters now? The Stoic philosophers, especially Marcus Aurelius, asked the same question. Not in theory but in the middle of war, disease, betrayal, and pressure most of us will never face. And yet, his private words, written not for fame but for clarity, still speak directly to us today. Because the truth is, life doesn't get easier as we age, but it can get clearer, if we choose it. In this video, I'll walk you through 9 Stoic rules that will challenge the way you think, feel, and live. Rules that help you focus, let go, forgive, act, and breathe fully. These aren't quotes for your fridge. They're tools for your soul. And by the end, you just might see your life, your mornings, your relationships, even your struggles, in a whole new light. So let's begin. Rule number 1 might change everything. 1. Memento Mori, live with death in mind. What if the best wisdom you'll ever hear came from someone who lived nearly 2,000 years ago? What if the answers to your stress, your regrets, your sleepless nights weren't found in another self-help book or another app, but in timeless truths that have already stood the test of time? If you're over 50, you've seen life unfold in ways both beautiful and brutal. You've loved, you've lost, you've worked hard, and somewhere along the way, maybe you've asked yourself, what really matters now? The Stoic philosophers, especially Marcus Aurelius, asked the same question. Not in theory but in the middle of war, disease, betrayal, and pressure most of us will never face. And yet, his private words, written not for fame but for clarity, still speak directly to us today. Because the truth is, life doesn't get easier as we age, but it can get clearer, if we choose it. In this video, I'll walk you through 9 Stoic rules that will challenge the way you think, feel, and live. Rules that help you focus, let go, forgive, act, and breathe fully. These aren't quotes for your fridge. They're tools for your soul. And by the end, you just might see your life, your mornings, your relationships, even your struggles, in a whole new light. So let's begin. Rule number 1 might change everything. 2. True leadership requires sacrifice. What does real leadership look like? It's not about power. It's not about titles. It's about sacrifice. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced one of the deadliest plagues in history. Millions were dying. The empire was on its knees. And what did he do? He didn't hide behind palace walls. He didn't protect his comfort. Instead, he walked through the imperial halls and marked items for sale. His robes, his treasures, even the emperor's own furniture. For 2 months, he sold these possessions on the front lawn of the palace. What? To help his people. That's Stoic leadership. That's putting others first. Too often today, leadership is about spotlight and status. But for the Stoics, true leadership meant responsibility. It meant showing up even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Maybe you're not an emperor. But if you're a parent, a mentor, a business owner, a neighbor, you're leading someone. Leadership isn't about being served. It's about serving. It's about asking, what can I give up to make things better for others? Sometimes that means taking the blame. Sometimes it means staying calm when others lose control. Sometimes it means giving up comfort, money, or even pride for the good of the group. Sacrifice isn't weakness. It's strength. It's character. Marcus Aurelius didn't have to sell a thing, but he did. Because he understood something timeless. A leader's greatness is measured not by how much they have, but by how much they're willing to give. That's what the world needs. That's what Stoicism teaches. And that's the kind of leader each of us can choose to be, starting today. 3. The obstacle is the way. It's easy to think that when life gets hard, we've taken a wrong turn, that we're off track, that we've hit a dead end. But Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, taught the opposite. He said, what stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle is not blocking your path. It is your path. That diagnosis, that job loss, that broken relationship, it's not the end. It's the beginning of something new. For those of us over 50, we've lived through things we never thought we could survive. And yet here we are. Maybe a little bruised, maybe a little wiser, but still standing. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not just setbacks, they are opportunities. When something blocks your plans, it forces you to get creative, to be patient, to grow. That's where character is forged. Not in comfort, but in struggle. You can't control what life throws at you. but you can control how you respond. You can turn pain into perspective, fear into courage, failure into fuel. A closed door doesn't mean no way forward, it means a new way forward. Maybe the path you planned isn't the one you'll walk. That's okay. Life has other plans, and they just might be better than yours. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every trial reveals a truth. So the next time you feel stuck, frustrated, or defeated, remember, the obstacle isn't stopping you. It's shaping you. Don't run from it. Don't curse it. Face it. Learn from it. And walk through it. Because the obstacle is the way. For take action, not just intention. We know what we need to do. You better call our loved ones. Finish that project. Start that hobby. But knowing isn't enough. Marcus Aurelius said, you could be good today. Instead, you choose tomorrow. How many times have we said, I'll start on Monday? Or, when the timing is right? But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment. There's just now. For those of us over 50, we've seen how quickly time passes. The days don't wait. The years don't pause. And regret, that's a heavy burden to carry. The Stoics believed that action is the foundation of wisdom. Not talk. Not plans. Not promises. Action. Because a book not written is just an idea. A walk not taken is just a wish. A call not made is just a hope. What matters is what you do. And the beauty is you don't have to do it all at once. Just one step. One choice. One honest effort today. Clean the garage. Apologize. Take the walk. Start the journal. You don't need more time, you need more courage to begin. You've got enough knowledge. Enough experience. What's missing is movement. Action brings clarity. It builds momentum. It's how change happens, not in your head but in your hands. So ask yourself right now, what's one thing I've been putting off? Then go do it. Don't wait for inspiration. It comes after you move, not before. The Stoics didn't dream their way to a better life, they acted their way there. So stop thinking about it, start doing. Because nothing changes until you do. 5. Anxiety comes from within. We all feel it, that tightness in the chest, the restless nights, the racing thoughts. Anxiety feels like it's coming from the world around us. From the news. From the bills. From what might happen tomorrow. But the Stoics teach something different. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, I escaped anxiety. No, I discarded it. Because it was within me. He wrote that during a deadly plague. While leading an empire. While burying friends and facing collapse. And yet, he realized, anxiety wasn't caused by events. It was caused by how he thought about those events. Just like the obstacle is the way and just like action matters more than intention. Peace comes from how we respond, not what happens. You might be retired now or maybe you're still working. Maybe your days are full or maybe they've gotten quieter. But anxiety doesn't need a busy schedule. It lives in our minds. And here's the truth, we don't need to fight anxiety, we need to understand it. What are you holding on to? What fear are you feeding? What story are you telling yourself that keeps you worried? When you pause, breathe, and look within, you begin to see clearly. You are not your fear. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who watches those thoughts. And that means you have the power to change them. Don't wait for the world to calm down. Calm yourself in spite of the world. Because peace, like leadership, like action, like strength, starts from the inside. The storm may rage around you, but you can still be still. And in that stillness you find freedom. 6. Own your mornings like Marcus did. If you want to change your day, start by changing your morning. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, philosopher of resilience, woke up early. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. Even as the most powerful man in the world, he reminded himself, you weren't made to lie under warm blankets. You were made to do the work of a human being. That's Stoic discipline in action. You see, peace doesn't just show up. It's built, one small habit at a time. Just like anxiety comes from within, so does calm. So does clarity. And it begins when you own your morning. Maybe you're retired or maybe you're still working. Either way, the first hour of your day is yours. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Don't reach for your phone. Reach for your mind. Write something down. Take a walk. Make your coffee slowly. Breathe. Read a passage from something that feeds your spirit, not your stress. Marcus wrote his thoughts down in a private journal. That journal became meditations. He didn't do it for history. He did it to center himself. To stay strong. To stay humble. You can do the same. Before the chaos comes in, before the world starts asking for your time, claim just a little of it for yourself. Start with stillness. Start with purpose. Because when you own your morning, you don't just react to the day, you lead it. And day by day, that's how you build the life you want. Just like Marcus did. 7. Discipline is for you, not others. By now, we've talked about owning your mornings, calming your mind, and taking real action. But here's something just as important. Remember, discipline is for you, not for judging others. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be tolerant with others, strict with yourself." That's the Stoic way. It's easy to spot where others fall short, to shake our heads at bad decisions, lazy habits, or careless words. But Stoicism doesn't give us permission to become critics. It calls us to become masters of ourselves. Self-discipline means showing up with integrity, whether or not anyone else is watching. Maybe someone else is late. Maybe someone else is rude. Maybe they waste time or money or talent. That's their path. You don't need to follow it or fix it. You focus on your own behavior, your habits, your choices. That morning routine, it's yours to protect. That calm mindset, your job to keep. That action you've been meaning to take, you must start it. The Stoics believed we're only truly free when we control ourselves, not when we try to control others. For those of us over 50, we've learned this the hard way. You can't force someone to grow, but you can set the example. Quietly, consistently. Lead by living. Teach by doing. Discipline is personal. It's not a tool to correct others, it's a mirror to reflect on your own growth. So the next time you're tempted to criticize, turn inward. Am I being who I say I want to be? Because Stoicism isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. 8. Difficult people make you stronger. Let's be honest, people can be frustrating. The rude ones. The selfish ones. The ones who never say thank you, never admit they're wrong, and always think they know better. But Marcus Aurelius warned us, you will meet people like this. Every day. And when you do, don't get angry. Get better. Because difficult people aren't roadblocks, they're training partners. Remember, Stoicism is about self-discipline, self-awareness, and nowhere is that tested more than in your relationships with others. It's easy to be calm when everyone's polite. It's easy to be kind when everyone's kind to you. But Stoic virtue is built when it's hard. Just like we said, discipline is for you, not for others. And that includes how you react to them. You don't have to match someone's anger. You don't have to take their bitterness personally. You can choose to respond with patience, with reason, with grace. That coworker who always complains? Practice listening without judgment. That family member who pushes your buttons? Practice holding your tongue. That driver who cuts you off? Practice letting it go. Every encounter becomes a chance to grow. For those of us over 50, we've met all types of people. And the lesson we keep learning is this: people don't define your peace. You do. Marcus wrote that injustice, arrogance, and cruelty in others are just reminders of what we don't want to become. So don't resent difficult people. Thank them. They're not in your way. They're showing you the way to patience, strength, and wisdom. That's Stoicism in action. 9. Ask yourself, is this essential? We've talked about action, discipline, and how to deal with difficult people. But here's one final question the Stoics ask themselves every single day. Is this essential? Marcus Aurelius wrote, most of what we say and do is not essential. Eliminate it and you get the double benefit. You do fewer things better. In a world that keeps pulling our attention in 1,000 directions, this question is more powerful than ever. What really matters? What's truly worth your time, your energy, your peace? For those of us over 50, we've lived long enough to know, so much of what we once thought was urgent, wasn't. So much of what we chased, didn't last. Now's the time to simplify. Clear the clutter in your schedule. Say no to what doesn't align. Let go of the pressure to please everyone. The Stoic life isn't about doing more, it's about doing less with more meaning. Before you commit, pause and ask, is this essential? Before you speak, ask, does this need to be said? Before you worry, ask, is this really in my control? When you do this, you make room for joy, for clarity, for deep connection. And you free yourself from the noise. Because life isn't measured by how busy we are, it's measured by how present we are. So slow down. Focus. Live intentionally. That's what Stoicism offers. Not just a way to survive life, but a way to truly live it. One clear, essential moment at a time. You don't need to be a philosopher. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. The Stoics didn't promise an easy life. They promised a meaningful one. And every rule you just heard, about action, discipline, presence, and perspective, is a reminder. You're still in control. You still have time. You can still choose peace over pressure, purpose over distraction, growth over regret. So take one of these lessons, and live it today. Not all 9. Just one. Write something. Let something go. Say what matters. Ask yourself, is this essential? And if this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Then hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. More timeless Stoic wisdom. More tools for a grounded, powerful, purposeful life. Especially for those of us who know that time is precious. You've come this far. Now keep going. Slowly. Bravely. Wisely. See you in the next video.